welcome to the VitaCast episode 28. I'm your host, Tyler Oltoff, and with me is Kyle Wakeling.
Hey, guys.
And Yuki doing our recording for us. So let's get this show on the road with what we've been playing. I've been playing a ton of Monster Monpiece. I'm doing that review, so hopefully I can get that done pretty quick, but still playing through it, so I want to see exactly what the whole game's all about. I'm enjoying it, though, so far. So there's some weird stuff to it, but that's some Japanese games for you. They add some weird touching to their games just because the Vita has a touchscreen. I think Kyle can back me up there with the weirdness that they have in that game, but it's fun. Also, I've been playing a little bit more MLB 14. Loving that game still. Still playing that. I think that's about it. I think I did play like an hour or two of Borderlands 2, but I can't remember if that was last week or this week. But yeah, that's it. What about you, Kyle?
All right. Well, same as you. I've been playing Monster Monpiece like crazy. I don't know what it is about the game because it's not really like the whole, sexualized card thing that gets me. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. It's got me hooked. So
Nice.
I've been playing that like crazy pretty much. I think I'm like 8 or 9 hours in so far. Yeah. So I'm actually really liking it. I like the whole collect the card element as well as the way that they've set up the battles. So it's definitely a unique game. Something I didn't think I was going to necessarily like, but I'm definitely enjoying it.
We need to do some multiplayer. See who's better.
Yeah, definitely. I got, seems I have a problem like you have neighbor's dogs being a jerk out here barking, so just warning you, if you hear any barking, that's what it is.
All right. We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, so other than Monster One Piece, I've been playing a little Soul Sacrifice Delta. Still going for the platinum on that one, but slowed down a little just because I've been pretty distracted. And still playing Hot Shots Golf. Gotta play it.
Nice.
It's my addiction. I play it nearly every day, and now that I have the PS3 version, I'm playing it even more.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it's been pretty crazy.
To jump back to Monster Monpiece real quick, I'm really curious about the multiplayer because I'm wondering if they use your cards. Like, let's say I just bought the game and I go to multiplayer, if I'm going to get owned because I only have like a basic deck or something like that, and the person else is like beat the game and has like everything.
Possible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they like randomly pull a deck or what it is. I'm not sure.
We'll have to figure that out.
I haven't even really like entered the online mode or anything yet.
Yeah, neither have I.
But the one thing I was wondering is, can you trade cards? Like how the cards are like kind of you get cards and you collect them, but like sometimes like I look and I have like 7 copies of some good card, right? Can you trade cards? I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to try that soon.
Definitely.
Is that all you've been playing?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, let's head on to the new releases. What do we got this week, Kyle?
All right. Well, we've got quite a bit variety here and variety between North America and Europe because we actually know some Europe releases this week, so that's cool. So starting off, we got 1001 Spikes, which is coming out today in North America and tomorrow in Europe. We got Hyper Dimension Neptunia, Producing Perfection, which has a review on the site. It's coming out today in North America. We're not sure when it's coming out in Europe. We have Monster Monpiece, which is coming out tomorrow in Europe. And we have Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate, which is cross-buy. It's on PlayStation Plus for free starting today or tomorrow, depending on your region. And it's coming to North America and Europe. And lastly, we have PlayStation Vita Pets, North America. We're not sure whether it's coming to Europe. So,
all right. So there's our new releases for this week. Let's head on to the news for this week. First up, Fly Hunter Origins landing on Vita this summer. The first title to be developed by Steel Wool Games, a talented team which is made up of 5 artists with a total of 60 years experience in the animation industry and boast film credits such as Brave, The Incredibles, Toy Story, Monsters University, and Ratatouille, and many others. Fly Hunter Origins is said to deliver the sort of high-quality cutscenes, characters, and story that you would expect from a team with such extraordinary credentials. Fly Hunter Origins is slated for a summer release. Next up, Love Live! School Idol Paradise delayed again. Free DLC as apology. as apology. Publisher Katakawa Games has delayed Love Live School Idol Paradise again. The music rhythm title getting pushed back from July 24th to August 28th. As an apology, however, first print copies of Love Live School Idol Paradise Volume 1 to 3 will include a DLC code to download a Stage Color Special Gimmick live production as bonus for the wait. Next up, Ratchet & Clank HD Trilogy coming this July. The Ratchet & Clank HD Trilogy will be available to play on the go July 2nd in Europe, July 9th in Australia, and you'll be able to grab the whole trilogy for €29.99 via digital download or pick up a physical copy.
Alrighty. Moving on with the news. A video game based on the anime series The Irregular at Magic High School, Mahuka Kuku no Retusai in Japanese, is to be released on PlayStation Vita by Bandai Namco Games. Although not much is known about the game, titled The Irregular at Magic High School Out of Order, magazine leaks have revealed that it will be a 3D fighting action game. Since we don't know much about the game, I'm just going to give a little synopsis here from the anime, which it's likely based on. Magic, a century has passed since this concept has been recognized as a formal technology instead of a product of the occult or folklore. At the National Magic University First Affiliate High School, aka Magic High School, students are divided into two distinct groups according to their academic performances. The Bloom, who just demonstrate the highest grades, are enrolled into the first course, and the Weeds, who have a poor academic record, are enrolled in the second course. A brother and sister enter the school, and everything kind of goes sideways. The sister's a wickedly powerful magician, and the brother, though he doesn't excel in school matters, has his own kind of twist. So it's really a unique anime, and the brother kind of comes out overpowered. So it's going to be pretty unique to see it come out in game form, especially since it's turning out, like, visually, it looks to be turning out like a Sword Art Online meets high school kind of thing. So it's going to be quite something to look forward to if they do it right.
Interesting.
Definitely. Gotta love those anime to, action games. Some of them they do them right, some of them they don't. We'll see how this one comes out. Might be another Sword Art Online for us.
What to see?
We'll have to see. All right, moving on. Milestone has announced that the 2014 edition of MotoGP will release on various platforms, including Vita, this month. MotoGP will feature over 100 different riders, including past champions, all the manufacturers available, and 18 tracks to ride on launch. As a bonus for those who are buying the game in the UK, pre-ordering from the retailer Game will net you a free card game pack for The Legends of Moto. MotoGP 14 is set to release June 20th in Europe, with no news on a North American release. And lastly, fast-paced, retro-inspired, super colorful, and psychedelic 3D shoot-'em-up Futuridium EP Deluxe is set to hit PlayStation Vita this July. So Futuridium EP Deluxe is Mixbag's first console game, and according to the post on the PlayStation blog, they apparently got a bit carried away. They took their time, adding new features and exclusive content, ultimately crafting the Deluxe Edition. The heart of this new edition is the brand new Deluxe mode, featuring a massive campaign with 50 different levels divided into 5 zones, plus 5 bosses and 5 bonus areas. They've also added a ton of other new improvements, such as a turbo boost, 150 medals, and more. Plus, they've kept the classic mode in there for fans of the original. Futuridium EP Deluxe is set to release this July on PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. That sweet, sweet cross-buy lovingly attached.
Nice. All right, next up, PlayStation Vita Action Mega Pack coming to Europe this June, clocking in at €39.99 for just the Mega Pack bundle, including an 8GB memory card and the voucher codes for 5 games, or €199.99 for the system bundle, which packs in a PlayStation Vita console with the Mega Pack. Included is Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, God of War Chains of Olympus PSP, and Killzone Liberation PSP. So there you go. If you don't have a Vita or you want some games, go grab that. Here we go. Hayarigami given adults-only style rating in Japan. Likely the most gruesome title in the Hayarigami series due to its very harsh rating. I'm just going to ignore that word. Takes the idea of exploring fear and pushes it to the limits, taking the visual novel genre into insanely adults-only territory. Is it Zero Z?
Yeah, Zero Z.
Zero Z rating it has gotten in Japan is only reserved for games that are extremely graphic, such as Grand Theft Auto 5, and word around the water cooler is that it might even be the first visual novel to achieve such a rating. Shin Harigami is scheduled to be released August 7th in Japan. Next up, Dekamori Senran Kagura coming west as Bon Appetit. A leak of the release name and schedule on the E3 website has confirmed our past suspicions. So there's a screenshot of the E3 website confirming it. So here we have like the description of what platform it's coming to, the release date, winter 2014, and then a brief description of what the game's about. So this is definitely hinting at that the fact that it's coming west. So yeah.
Alrighty. Well, moving on with the Senran Kagura news. Been wondering just when this summer we'll see Shinobi Versus hit Western shores? Well, it looks like the wait might be almost over, as a listing on E3 Insider has pegged the release date at June 10th. Unlike the posting for Bon Appetit, however, this one hasn't been taken down and can still be viewed in all its splendor on their website. If true, it's a good day for Senran Kagura fans, as it's time to rejoice in the knowledge that all those busty ninjas will soon be in your hands. If not, well, they just got us excited for nothing. Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus is already out in Japan, but is apparently due out June 10th in North America. We'll see if that's true or not. Moving on, looking to get your Tukiden Kiwami, or Extreme in English, on? Well, it looks like you won't have to wait much longer. That is, if you're cool with just the demo for now. The Japanese PSN will apparently be getting a demo this Thursday, June 5th, allowing you to try out this enhanced release nearly 3 months before it's available in its final form. But wait, you might say, what do you mean you'll be able to play the demo 3 months before the full game? We don't know when it's coming out, do we? Well, we do now. Release date for the enhanced version of Tukiden has been set for August 28th in Japan, giving you just under 3 months to save your pennies, or yen as it may be, for a copy. As for returning players, those who also have Tukiden Age of Demons, don't delete the save file from your original copy, and maybe go back and finish it if you haven't. A transferred save file from the original game will unlock Yamoto and Horu costumes, while a save with the completed story will net you an angel costume for Kitsune as well. Sounds like it might be just the sum of Tukiden in Japan, so check out the demo for Tukiden Kiwami this Thursday, and make sure to watch for the full release on August 28th. Last bit of news here. Great news for skateboarding fans, as Roll 7 today announced that the bug that has been causing Ollie Ollie to crash has finally been fixed. Woot woot, yes. The issue has been quite a grind for the developer since the game released at the start of the year, but Simon Bennett from Roll 7 today took to the PlayStation blog to reveal that a patch is with Sony's QA team and should be rolling out for users before June 20th. Simon went on to thank those that had helped the studio to overcome the issue, saying that, quote, "We want to give massive props to our friends and partners at Blitworks for narrowing down and finally terminating this nasty little menace." Alongside the patch, it was also revealed that Roll 7 have another big patch in the pipeline for June. This patch will see fully functional leaderboards added to Ollie Ollie, something that has been asked for since launch. If all this wasn't enough, it's also confirmed that Ollie Ollie owners who also own a PS3 or PS4 will receive the game for free when it releases for the consoles, cross-buy and cross-save included. This is fantastic news for fans of Ollie Ollie, and as soon as we hear any further updates in regards to these patches, we at the Vita Lounge will be sure to keep you posted.
Nice. All right, that's all the news we got. That was pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty good. We're getting it down, Tyler. We're getting it down.
That we are.
All right. Well, another thing that we normally do, I guess, here on the podcast is we have a couple talking points. But we're kind of changing it up a little, and we're expanding so that we have a couple at least each week. So moving on to talking points, our very first one here is announced games we're looking forward to from the week. So what are you interested in, Tyler?
Well, I'm hoping that MotoGP and Ratchet and Clank HD get announced for coming to North America, because those both look very entertaining, especially the Ratchet and Clank HD trilogy. I've never played Ratchet and Clank, which is surprising because I love the characters and I've always wanted to, but never had the chance.
Yeah, I've never played Ratchet and Clank. I don't think either. It just never kind of caught me. But you never know when they come out on Vita because whenever I'm looking for a game, I'll probably pick up anything.
Yeah.
As for what I'm interested in here, yeah, I agree. Maybe the Ratchet and Clank HD trilogy. I'm definitely interested in the Irregular at Magic High School. MotoGP, I would love for it to come to North America, but we've had some bad experiences as far as getting titles from Milestone over here in the past, so I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to Dekamori Senran Kagura, or Bon Appetit, as it's called over here, and Shinobi Versus coming. I'm so excited.
I told my friend at work yesterday about that game, and he was like, "Wait a minute, so that's what happens when you fight?" I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm going to GameStop pre-ordering it.
Nice. Got to sell those people on the Senran.
Yep. It was pretty funny.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we can move on to our next talking point, which is actually part of a question from a couple podcasts ago. I'm sorry I forgot your name. I believe it might have been David Goodman. I'm not 100% sure, but somebody 2 podcasts ago asked about the X-Blaze Code Embryo demo and our thoughts on it. We actually got to play it, so we have some thoughts. What do you think, Tyler?
Well, when I first started it, I kind of got bored and just stopped and was just not interested. And then I was like, I think you messaged me and said we got to play it to do this thoughts thing. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it another shot. I'll play through the whole thing. And actually, towards the end, it started to grab me, and I was actually a little more interested in it. But the demo ends a little too quick, so I don't know. Maybe that was a good thing though, because if it ends quick, then I'm now like really interested and want to go buy it to figure out what happens next. But I wanted a little more.
See, it had the complete opposite effect on me. It was at first like I figured, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. So I hung in with it and I played it all through in one go. And I was disappointed because it was so short. It didn't hook me. It didn't give me anything to be interested in. It just seemed like they were throwing all this bullcrap information at you, and then it just ended. So for me, it was so short that it didn't have time to hook me. So I don't really care now. So as far as thoughts on this demo, the demo was meh. It made me not interested in the game, and that's pretty poor showing as far as I'm concerned, because demo is pretty much supposed to hook you to the game and make you want to buy it. So don't know what the hell they were thinking there.
Yeah. Huh. Who knows? Not everyone can be satisfied, Kyle.
Very true. And it shows from how different our outlook on kind of that demo and our afterthoughts are kind of here. That everyone's going to have a different reaction, but that was just my reaction. It wasn't long enough to hook me, so you're going to have to do better.
I think the one thing that really grabbed my attention is that it did something that reminded me of Persona 3. And I don't know how far you got in Persona 3, so I don't know if I want to ruin it. But
I didn't get super far, but as long as you're not, ruining the ending, I'm probably okay.
It wouldn't ruin the ending, but maybe I should just hold off.
Yeah, okay. No worries.
I'll just hold off. I won't worry about it. Maybe someday I'll come up and be like, oh yeah, that, and I'll tell you.
Yeah. One day, Tyler, one day.
One day.
All right, moving on, I think, to the next talking point. Today, or rather this morning, it was announced that the PlayStation Portable is being discontinued in Japan, as well as there's a couple of different programs going on, UMD transfer, some sort of deal, I believe, when you trade in your PSP towards a Vita, a whole bunch of different things that they're having go on over there in Japan for this PSP being discontinued kind of thing, as well as I think I read somewhere Summer of Vita or something, so it looks like they're trying to promote the Vita over there. So here's our talking point. Will the PlayStation Portable being discontinued increase Vita sales, or will it have no effect on the Vita sales whatsoever? And that one's actually coming in from Sean, who's one of our new writers.
Well, I think at first people are going to go crazy and start buying a whole bunch of PSPs, so it's going to look like the PSP is suddenly doing good again, because everyone's going to be like, oh, it's getting discontinued, we need to go get them. But in the long run, yeah, of course. I mean, people aren't going to be able to really get a PSP for a decent price because everyone's just going to jack the prices up. And people are going to be like, well, what the heck's this all about? I might as well just get a Vita because it's better. So I think it's going to be for the better, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I definitely think it being discontinued is going to spur all those people who are like, those people who go out and buy a copy of the game sealed and keep it on the shelf kind of people are going to go out there and get all the last run PSPs and keep them so that they can sell them in 30 or 40 years for lots of money, or so they think. So definitely there's going to be an uptick in PSP sales. Whether that is going to equate to Vita sales right away, yes, I think it is, at least in Japan. The whole trade-in, UMD transfer program kind of thing over there has gotten a lot more traction than it has over here. So I definitely think that with the PSP being discontinued, people are going to be shifting their console playing to the Vita. It has like the digital library that the PSP has as well. So it's not going to be such a huge dramatic change for them, and they'll be able to play some of their games that they're coming from as long as they weren't on UMD, or they can get them transferred from UMD. Other than that, the Vita sales, I think it's definitely going to help. There's not going to be so much competition in its own kind of area, because even though they're both from the same company, technically kind of the PSP is its competition, because you don't really see people go out and go, hey, I want a PSP and a Vita. So yeah. So yeah, it's definitely going to help push the Vita out there, and I think that it will cause an uptick, as well as it's kind of good because now we won't see those crazy what do you call it, like the releases every month of how many consoles were sold. We won't see the PSP lumped in with the Vita anymore because it's being discontinued. So that's a little bit of good news on the side as well. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to have an increase on the Vita sales. But it's not going to be super dramatic. It's just going to be kind of sustained, I guess, as people phase out their PSPs.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's enough on that. Moving on to our last talking point. And I think you had a little more to say on this, so I'll let you go first again. What are your E3 predictions, Tyler?
All right. So, E3's coming up. Everyone's excited. I'm hoping that there's lots of Vita news, but with the PS4 out, and this is the first E3, right? With the PS4 being out?
This is, the first one where it's completely out, yes.
Yeah, so obviously they're going to focus a lot on the PS4, but if they can put at least 10 to 15 minutes to be like, guess what, Vita people, here's stuff coming, and the first thing they're going to announce is a new Uncharted Golden Abyss, so Uncharted Golden Abyss 2. And this is all predictions, by the way, so don't be like, oh my god, the Vita Lounge, they just said it, it's coming. So keep in mind, these are all predictions. Next up, they're going to announce the 64GB memory card coming west for, I'm just going to throw out a random price, for $65. Kyle, that's a crazy price, isn't it? It's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a crazy good deal. I think you might be a little bit crazy for suggesting it.
I'm just going to say it because, that's what I want it to be, so I don't have to drop $100. All right, and next for their announcements, I'm feeling an infamous Vita, and I don't know if they're going to go like the same story that they kind of just did with like more backstory or whatever for Infamous Second Son, or if they're going to do more Cole stuff. I don't know, but just Infamous coming. And my next prediction is Grand Theft Auto Stories is coming to the Vita, and I'm thinking it's going to be a new one, not bundled like Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories. I'm feeling a new GTA Stories, either, oh gosh, what is that one? San Andreas, or maybe 5, just doing a little thing there. So I'm hoping, because I love GTA, and yes, this would be amazing E3 news if they said, guess what it is? It's real. It's happening. Kyle's excited.
Not so much.
Okay, Kyle. Then what do you got?
All right, so I hate to be a bit of a Debbie Downer, but my E3 predictions for Vita is that there's not going to be much. As you said, this is the first year that the PlayStation 4 is out. Well, we're going into E3, so there's going to be definitely a lot of talk about that. I can definitely see them throwing in that, remote play conversation a little bit, as they're trying to push that to sell Vitas and sell PS4s and, make some money on hardware. But other than some of the things that we already know about, I don't see there being a whole lot for Vita. I could definitely see them announcing some sort of sequel to one of the main series just to kind of appease fans. So I could definitely see, as you said, an Uncharted coming. Anything like that. Those main games, Assassin's Creed, the big titles. I could see any of those coming to Vita as a sequel. Or another Call of Duty, though I would hope that they would put a little bit more quality into it, considering that they have to now compete with Killzone and Borderlands 2, which, even though some reviewers panned it, it's actually quite a lot better than people have been saying. I'm seeing, not a whole lot of new stuff, maybe a little something here or there, but it's mostly going to be them talking about, I think, things that have already been announced in other regions or talked about elsewhere. So the Ratchet and Clank HD collection, I could see them definitely saying, it's coming to North America and blah, blah, blah. I could definitely see them talking a bit about that we'll definitely see something on Gravity Rush 2 or whatever they're going to call it. I could definitely see them showing the Tokyo Game Show trailer that they showed, the little teaser, in North America, just to kind of promote that, as we're probably going to be getting it, but it'll probably be later than Japan, as the same as last time. So I could definitely see them showing a little bit about that, just to get North American players a little bit hyped, as that's coming, sometime in the future. But other than that, I don't see much. Maybe a Vita TV announcement, but you never.
Yeah, that hasn't been doing very well, though, right?
Yeah, there's problems with that, but I think that has to do with a lot with their market too. I think it would do a lot better over here, just because of the fact that the whole remote play with PlayStation 4 aspect, as well as just it seems like we have like that more media streaming, kind of attitude towards our TV viewing and game playing, whereas the Japanese, they don't really do the whole media thing. They kind of get their stuff directly from the sources.
Gotcha. Yeah, another thing I would think of, though, is like, even with them focusing on PS4, that doesn't take away from titles that are going to be also on the Vita. Like with Gamescom last year, they did a lot of like, guess what? This is coming to PS4, PS3, and Vita. So I mean, there's going to be cross platform announcements, but they'll be focusing on the PS4 most of the time, I think.
Oh, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and then there's been a lot of rumors about it, but a PlayStation 4 and Vita bundle, so you can get both the PS4 and the Vita in one.
That'd be pretty awesome.
But other than that, I'm hoping. I hope we're wrong about there not being a lot of stuff for Vita, and we just get blown away. Like, they're like, guess what? We're not even going to talk about PS4. Dun dun dun. It's all Vita.
Well, I think the biggest thing for us, for Vita owners and Vita enthusiasts going into any of these conferences, is you have to expect nothing, because then when they do show up with something, it's so much bigger of a hype, and it's so much better, because really it's a side console. It's not their main push. Their main push is going to be PlayStation 4. It was PlayStation 3. Now we've changed it, and there's no way that the Vita is going to come out on top against that. But I definitely want them to support the Vita. They have been putting a little effort in here and there, and I could definitely see them pulling out something. But if you go in expecting nothing and you come out with something, it's better than going in expecting something and coming out with nothing. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see next week.
Definitely. And, we'll be there to report on whatever they end up announcing.
Oh, yeah. And if you have any predictions, feel free to tweet us or something and be like, well, this is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys think is going to happen. Even if it's something crazy, we'd love to hear it. Because then if it does come true, we can always go, hey, this guy said, and, then you can be famous on our podcast.
There you go.
There you go. All right, moving on. I think we have some listener mail this week, Tyler.
Yes, we do.
Alrighty. So we've got, looks like 4 pieces of listener mail, and I'll just kind of jump right into it. The first one here. This question I'll direct specifically to Kyle, however Tyler's input is also welcomed. I have come across several times with the Hot Shots golf games for both PlayStation Portable and Vita on sale at my local Kmart. You can get both games for the PSP at $5 and the Vita game for $8 on clearance. Like most people, I like a good sale. However, I've never been big into golf games. I know how well you advocate this game, Kyle, and I've considered giving the game a chance. However, with my backlog of games growing and with 4 games currently on pre-order for Vita, I'm not sure if I can give this game a proper chance. My question is, if you were in my shoes based on all the information I've given you, what do you think I should do? Should I buy it or skip it? David Goodman. Well, David, I'm just going to jump right in here because he said he's directing this specifically at me, and I'm special and Tyler's not.
Okay.
But yes, I think you should go for it. The biggest thing about Hot Shots Golf that I've noticed is you don't have to like golf to like the game. A lot of people that I know that completely hate golf games would never touch a PGA game or never watch golf or play golf got really into this game, and it's something that's really easy to pick up and play. So if you've got 5 minutes and you just want to shoot a round of golf or play a little bit with some friends on multiplayer or whatever, there's perfect opportunity for that in Hot Shots. You can play 3 holes, you can play 9 holes, you can play 18 holes, you can play whatever you want. There's so much variety in there. It's one of those games you can kind of get lost in with so many options. And being somebody who doesn't like golf games myself, I've never really played, PGA or anything like that. Hot Shots is the game that I go to for Vita. So if I'm, bored and I have nothing to do and I can't think of, something to play right away, that's the game I go to, and I don't really even like golf games. So that should say quite a bit right there. What do you think, Tyler?
Well, it's only $8. Why didn't you buy
it? Very, very good point. It's only $8. Why didn't you buy it? That's 4 coffees. Come on.
That should be a quote.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Off topic, but kind of on topic. I played the Mario Golf 3DS demo. I hated it. It was garbage. Anyways, Hot Shots Golf is way better.
Yeah, so if you will like any golf game at all, you will like Hot Shots because it's just the best.
Yeah, and with your 4 pre-orders, are they coming out soon or are they a ways away? Because, it is just golf and it's arcadey, but it's really fun. So, just every once in a while, pop it in for 20 minutes or something and play a match and boom, play something else. Unless you're one of those people that likes to focus on one game at a time, then I don't know. Because Hot Shots Golf is kind of one of those games that you can continuously play after you've pretty much done everything you can think of.
Yeah, I've been playing it since I got it, and I got it when I got my Vita 2 Christmases ago or whatever. So, yeah, it's definitely one of those games that you can play forever and never get bored of it.
Did it come out on PlayStation Plus, or was that never?
It came out in Europe on PlayStation Plus, so if you're European and you have Plus, I think it's there right now. I'm not 100% sure, though. But, yeah, I don't think it's come out in North America before on Plus.
Okay.
Because I probably would have grabbed it, considering the fact that I have the physical copy and I never stopped playing it, so I'm always switching it out of the thing.
I got you, yeah. I have the digital copy. It makes it very easy to switch between games.
Yeah.
But it takes up so much space, though. That 64 gigabyte E3.
Yeah, we definitely need it. I'm suffering horribly with my 16 gigabyte as my main. I don't even have. Right now I have so little games. Here, I have my Vita here. I'll tell you the small amount of games that I have on here. And this is ridiculous how small it is because I normally have way more. I have right now Soul Sacrifice Delta, Monster Monpiece, Borderlands 2, Ollie Ollie, and Killzone Mercenary on here, and that's it. That's all that will fit, other than the like tiny little bubbles for games that I have on cards. How horrible is that? It's like 5 games.
Yeah, I have like triple that on my 32.
Well, I normally have like probably 12 games. It's just these ones are so big, like Soul Sacrifice Delta and Borderlands 2 and Killzone Mercenary take up like 12 gigabytes right there, right? So
yeah.
it's pretty. I'm a sad panda. Anyways, moving on. I think we should move on with this listener mail. Anyway, okay, second question here, also from David Goodman, because he's awesome and he likes to send us a lot to talk about. I was wondering, with the recent announcement of D3 publishers Bullet Girls and its pre-order DLC, how do you guys feel about a game that is basically a Senran Kagura third-person shooter game? Considering the current environment of the games industry, which localizing company do you feel is best suited in bringing it over to the West? And he lists Axis, Zen United, Idea Factory International, etc., etc.
Well, I have never played Senran Kagura, so I don't really know exactly what to expect, but a third-person shooter, I like that style of game, so why not? I'll give it a shot. As for localizing company, I think Exceed would be a pretty good one. Aren't they doing the Senran Kagura one?
Yeah, Exceed is actually taking it care of Senran Kagura, yes.
I think I'd go for Exceed then.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Exceed is one of the best choices. Axis and Idea Factory International don't do a bad job either. And I'm not really sure who Zen United is, so sorry if Zen United is listening. Anyway.
They're all like,
yeah, pretty much. As for how I feel about the game, I'm not quite sure because really there's not a lot that they have in common. Like, I mean, there is and there isn't. They're both anime style games. They're both, those kind of games where when you receive damage or whatever, your clothes rip off. And they're both action sort of games, one being a shooter, the other one being fighting. But other than that, they really don't have a whole hell of a lot in common. Like, I mean, the one's about ninjas and the other one's about people shooting guns. So how close can you get? But how do I feel about the game? I'm not sure yet. Like, I mean, a lot of these games that are like that, I could have interest in. It's just how well they pull it off. I've seen a lot of these games kind of go the wrong way and come out as a cheesy piece of crap mess. Something that's just there pretty much for people who are hardcore fans of like the anime or whatever to grab. I'm not even sure if this one has an anime, and if it does, it must not be very popular, so I'm not really sure how they're going to do in that aspect. But if they do a good job, making the gameplay interesting, I could definitely be interested because it looks okay, but have to see how it plays.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all we have on that one, so that was pretty easy. Moving on, number 3 here. What's up, Kyle and Tyler and Paul, who is not here this week? First of all, yes, I live in Snohomish, Washington, so this is the guy we were talking to, I believe, last week. Yeah. I'm also 80% certain that I'm the only person who has a Vita in area. But on to more elated topics. What would your dream PlayStation IP to make it to the Vita be? For example, we've gotten a Killzone, and it's awesome, and an Uncharted, although I didn't enjoy it. There is one woman for Nathan Drake, and her name is Elena Fisher. I would personally like to have another Resistance title on Vita, but with a more horror-based take on the franchise. Similar to the upcoming Alien Isolation game, you would have no weapons, and it would take place in Russia during the early stages of the Chimera virus. That's my dream game, but what's yours?
All right. Yeah, that Resistance sounds like it could be pretty good, and considering the first Resistance on the Vita, that wasn't amazing. Like, they had a good, building block, I guess, to have something amazing on the Vita, but they didn't really get it, as people know.
It was a nihilistic game, so you can't expect much from it. Especially when they were developing that horrible Call of Duty at the same time.
Yeah, but, I mean, that wasn't too much of their fault, considering they got 2 big title games, and, guess what? Push these out, and within, 6 months of each other. So
See,
I mean,
I agree and I don't because of the fact that they kind of took on those games. Like somebody
that
can't
is
just say
true.
to you, here's 2 games, do them. If you're just a company like that, they took on those 2 games and they did them both poorly.
Yeah. The thing is
You can
money
kind of blame them
talks.
a little. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
They
So
probably
I
got paid a
guess
lot to do
whoever
those
paid
games.
them to do that, it's mostly their fault.
Yeah. Anyways, back on topic. PlayStation IP. I would probably go for either BioShock or Infamous because those would be 2 IPs that I think would sell a lot of Vitas, just like Borderlands 2 did.
All right. Well, for my choices, I think this one's pretty obvious, and a lot of people would agree with me. Gran frickin' Turismo. Okay. If you put
Agreed.
Gran Turismo on Vita and bundle it in a bundle for like $199, or even you could probably bump it up to like $219 with Gran Turismo in it and like a decent sized card, and people would go friggin' nuts. Like, I mean, seriously, Gran Turismo is one of their best selling franchises ever. I don't think there's a console that it hasn't sold 1 million units on, and it's just one of the best driving games there is. So if you put it on Vita, people are going to buy Vita. So there's my
Yeah.
dream PlayStation IP right there, and they could pretty much do anything. Like they could give us an HD version of Gran Turismo 1, and it would probably still sell like hotcakes. So I don't care how they do it, just give us a proper Gran Turismo on Vita, and I'm down.
E3's coming.
And as I've said in the past, Polyphonic has had a hand in the design of the Vita, so it's quite possible that there's a Gran Turismo game that's been in the works ever since the Vita was first thought of. We just don't know about it.
Yeah.
It happened with the PSP, I believe. It happened, I think, with the PS3, and I think they're working on one right now for the PlayStation 4. So it's not like they don't have the precedent to do it, and it's been on every PlayStation console there has ever been. So.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, we're waiting, guys.
Wasn't there like a news story a while ago where Sony sent out like surveys and they asked if people would want Gran Turismo on the Vita? I swear I remember reading that somewhere.
I don't know. I've read so many surveys. I have no idea. Could be Tyler. I have no idea.
Well, that's definitely a good choice because I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things that would not only be a great seller on Vita, but would sell Vitas like crazy because
Yeah.
a lot of people, like, if you said to them, Gran Turismo portable, they'd be like, holy shit, I'm there. I know a lot of people who actually bought PSPs and stuff for Gran Turismo PSP, so I could definitely see that selling consoles like hotcakes.
Yeah, and especially if it's a console quality version of it.
Well, yeah,
Then
like the PlayStation Portable version was pretty cut down. Like it wasn't a complete version. It had a lot of stuff in it, but it was pretty cut down compared to the PS3 version.
Yeah.
So, and that sold quite well. So they could really do quite poorly with it and still get off well just on the name, I imagine. But knowing Polyphony Digital, they'll do something awesome if they do something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's similar to like I know it's a totally different game, but with Minecraft coming to the PlayStation Vita, it's the first time that Minecraft will be portable and actual console quality. Like whereas the Pocket Edition is clearly cut down and you can only use touch controls. Now that the Vita has physical buttons and it's coming to the Vita, it's a lot of people are probably going to be like, all right, I got to get it because I'm addicted to Minecraft and I can now take my worlds on the go. So even though Minecraft may not sound like a big system seller, it actually might be a big system seller for the Vita.
As much as I hate Minecraft, I completely agree with you. I completely agree that games like that where it's got like a huge following and stuff like that, and there's other inferior versions out, but the PlayStation Portable is going to have this version that's kind of ultimate because it's all the greatness of the console version on the go. Will definitely suck people in, and if you showed somebody who is a Minecraft crazy person a a PlayStation Vita playing this full version of Minecraft, I bet you $1 million they would buy it. So yeah, I definitely think it's a great idea, and I definitely think it's going to ruin some lives. So yeah, Minecraft. I'm okay with it, even though I hate the game. Anyway, I think that brings us to our very last user or listener mail here, and this one's from Armin Sabahi on Twitter. Do you think Sony will bring more collections to the Vita, like Killzone, Infamous, or Resistance?
Yeah, I think they've been, pushing these collections on the Vita with, Sly Cooper collection, and then now Ratchet and Clank. As for Killzone, Infamous, or Resistance, I don't think Infamous will see a collection on the Vita, but Killzone, I feel like might have the best chance because of how well Killzone Mercenaries done. But I don't know. I don't really know what other collections there are other than the ones we've already gotten.
Yeah, there's not a whole hell of a lot of choice left out there for Sony kind of collections. But those are definitely some good choices, I would think. As for what they will bring and whether I think those ones will come, I definitely think Killzone is as you said, the best possible one. They could, I would definitely buy them if they brought over Killzone 1 to 3 and gave them a Killzone Mercenary makeover in terms of control scheme. I would play the hell of that. That would be awesome. Day one buy for me. As for the other two, Resistance would do good if they did it well. I don't think it would be like a crazy seller, but I think it would do okay enough to warrant actually doing it. So making that collection, and Infamous as well. Although, like with how this latest Infamous looks, I think they might have to do 1 and 2 and not the full collection. So I'd be okay with that, and I might actually try that if it came to Vita again, because I didn't much care for it on PS3, but that was a while ago. As for what else they could bring, I'm not even sure. All their main ones are out there, like the Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper. The only things that I can think of that are very Sony that aren't there are, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. So unless they're going to reach into their crazy back catalog that people have been asking for them for forever and nobody knows who actually owns these games anymore, I think those are probably the 3 most likely choices. And I think Killzone is the most likely of those choices. So, yeah. Do I think it'll happen? I think it has a good chance. And I think it's going to be Killzone first, if any.
All right. And that's all our listener mail?
That's all we got.
All right. Well, thanks, everyone, for sending us your questions and whatnot. Next up is our game recommendation of the week, and that's me. My game recommendation for this week is, I guess it's kind of part of a collection if you think of both the games being together. Final Fantasy X HD. So if you buy the physical copy, you get Final Fantasy X HD 2 as well. So I guess there's 2 games, kind of a bundle or a collection. But I'm just talking about the first one, so Final Fantasy X HD, not the other one, because I haven't even played the other one. But yes, go grab this game. I played it way back in the day when it was on PS2 and loved the crap out of it. And now it's on the Vita in HD, and it's just as badass as I remember when I was a kid. So grab it if you have not. It's a great game. Kyle loves it. Just kidding. I don't know if Kyle's even played it.
No, that's one I haven't got to yet, but it's definitely on my radar, seeing as how it's a Vita game and it's got such great reviews. I'm not much of a Final Fantasy aficionado, but I'm willing to try anything once it comes to Vita, pretty much.
Just keep in mind, it was a PS2 game. There's old stuff to it.
That's okay, Tyler. That's okay. I play retro games. I'm cool with that.
All right, just making sure.
It's all good, Tyler. It's all good.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this week. So let's get out of here.
All right.
Remember, you can find all the stories we talked about on the VitaLounge.net. You can find us all on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Yuki is at Yuki_WR. Also, search us on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. YouTube is Lounge Play, where we post the podcast, which I forgot to do last week's episode, so I need to do that probably tonight. But yeah, we post the podcast episodes up there. Also, we do our Lounge Plays, which hopefully, I say it every time, but this is the week, Kyle. This is the week. Saturday. Mark it on your calendars.
See, one of these days, Tyler, I'm gonna like put a curse on you, and then the curse is gonna be that if we don't do it that week, that some monster is gonna bust into your house and like bend you over or something. But yeah, something like that. So one of these weeks, you're really gonna have to put some effort in, man.
Yeah. All right.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
It will. So Saturday, Killzone Mercenary, and I'm thinking Hot Shots Golf and Little Big Planet, but I'm not totally sure. I don't know what Kyle wants to do. I know Killzone is a must.
I'm definitely down for Killzone and Hot Shots. Little Big Planet will depend on how full my memory card is and whether I have to move stuff, how ready we are at the time.
Okay.
All right.
Well, when the day gets closer, I'll let everyone know on the forum, which is the next thing. Join the forum. Sign up. Join the conversation. You can see our little thread about Lounge Play, and you can suggest games for us to play. But yeah, go introduce yourself on there. Join the conversation. And we are also on iTunes now, so if you haven't heard, go subscribe to our iTunes feed and subscribe and rate it. Let us know how we're doing. Feel free to say what we're doing wrong so we can fix those things. And,
like Tyler always mispronouncing those words.
Yeah, okay, all right. I try. That's all that matters, Kyle.
I don't know, Tyler. I don't know.
Maybe I just need to take lessons. Or just be as amazing as you,
Word reading
Kyle.
lessons?
Well, shut up, Kyle. Anyways.
Okay, Tyler.
Let's get out of here before Kyle makes a fool of himself.
Or Tyler.
See ya.
See you later, guys.